Hello, everybody. My name is Nathaniel Seabury. I have sickle cell. It's been a while since I did one of these videos. So, yeah, I look rough. I know I need a haircut. Gotta get this stuff cut off. I've been sick lately, so whatever. But, I'm here. Just want to talk. Like, I don't have no special information to give, but we're gonna go over a couple of topics today that I just want to speak on. So, sickle cell. Sickle cell is tough. I keep saying that if you watch any videos, I talk about how tough sickle cell is all day because it is. And a lot of people don't realize that because we don't look sick, which is like the biggest drawback of it because you don't look sick on the inside. I mean, on the outside, but on the inside, there's so much going on, and it's literally killing us. But we don't look sick, so people don't see us as that. People see us as normal people, in hospitals, see us as drug addicts or whatever, and that's not fair. And then people, like, there's this joke that's in TED too that a lot of people got upset about. The joke itself doesn't bother me because I can't be a hypocrite. People joke about cancer and all kinds of other things. It's a joke at the end of the day. What bothers me is the lack of knowledge behind the joke. Like, you make the joke pretty much saying that Mark Wahlberg's character is laying down covered in semen from people who had sickle cell, like rejected semen, and Ted says that he's covered in more semen, more black men's semen than Kim Kardashian or something like that. It's funny when you first hear it, it's a funny joke. But where the problem comes in that, like I said, it's not a joke. It's not that they're joking about it. It's that you don't get the stigma that sickle cell is just a black disease is the reason why people don't pay attention as much, because you're not going to focus on a disease that's just a minority of a minority. You know what I'm saying? When in actuality, sickle cell affects people of all races. Well, I've never met anyone from India with sickle cell, but I know in Asia it's big. I know in Europe, in China, I mean, not China, in Africa, like Latin America, south, 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 south of the border. I couldn't get it out, sorry. Like, sickle cell is big in places, there's people in other countries that have sickle cell and of other colors and other cultures, but as long as the stigma keeps going on that it's just a black disease, no one's going to care. That's factual. Like, you could say, oh my God, he's playing the race card. No, it's facts. No one cares. You don't believe me? Ask your neighbor. Just tomorrow, just go knock on your neighbor's door and say, hey, how you doing, neighbor? You ever heard of sickle cell? And when they say, it's not that black disease, there you go. Answers your question. It's a black disease. So what can they tell you about a black disease? They're not going to tell you anything about black disease because no one cares, because it's a black disease. It's not affecting me. So if you tell me that only white people got cancer, would I care? Yes, because cancer is horrible, just like sickle cell. I would care about the disease, but would I want to be informed or I can't get it. I mean, that's the way I'm guessing people look at it. I don't know for sure. I'm not gonna say it's no racist thing like that. People just let's kill all the black people. No, I'm not saying that. But is that why they don't care? Is it because like it's not affecting me? So why do I need to learn about this? But see that, and in that thinking, is why the disease keeps going because people don't know that you can be white and have this disease. You can be Asian, you can be this and that and the other and have this disease, which means it spreads and it keeps going because people not they don't know that the person next to them might have a trait or they might have a trait because they're not testing white kids for this. They're not testing, you know what I mean? Other races, they just testing black and Latinos for the most part. So you have a disease that's hidden secretly right in front of your face because of ignorance. And that's the problem with the whole joke with me. Like, I don't care about the joke. It was funny. It's a funny joke. Like, I laugh at stuff, laugh at my pain, man, like Kevin Hart say. It's not that serious, but you gotta have, when the joke comes out, you have to be informed. Just inform people, like be proactive. Like I wouldn't make a joke about AIDS if I don't know anything about AIDS. I wouldn't make a joke about cancer if I don't know anything about cancer. I wouldn't make a joke that's playing on, let me rephrase that. I wouldn't make a joke that's playing on stigmas that are associated with AIDS. You get what I'm saying? I would never make a joke saying only gay people get AIDS because that's not true. Or only black people get AIDS. That's not true. It's not. But those are stigmas that's attached to that disease. So if I made a joke saying, "Oh yeah, you," I don't know. I can't think of a joke because I'm not a hateful person like that. But if I made a hateful joke or an ignorant joke about gay people or black people and AIDS, that would be wrong because you're feeding a stigma. You're feeding ignorance. You're feeding lack of knowledge. You're feeding things that don't need to be fed. Like, just make. It would have been great if you'd have made that joke. Well, you couldn't make that joke without talking about black people because, never mind. Kim Kardashian, that's her thing. But I don't know how to explain it. But just don't make the joke then because you're killing. There's people who really are fighting, trying to make this disease known. And a joke like that is just like shooting it in the foot, all the work that people are putting together. But whatever, like I said, the joke was funny for what it was, but it just inform yourselves, people. Just inform yourselves. That, see that thing right there? That in my blinds is really bothering me. Yep. That's bothering me right there. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I can see it and it's aggravating the hell out of me. There's another one right there. Right there. Yep. Bothering me. It's aggravating. But yeah, so back to the subject at hand. So that's just one topic I wanted to get off my chest. Now, moving on to the next topic. I'm going to talk about love and sickle cell because it's a topic. Formed by me. People, when you have sickle cell, you grow up your whole life. I don't know about everybody else, but I know when I went to the doctors, they would sit us down, they would have these talks with us about if you date somebody, make sure they don't have the trait or the disease because you don't want to pass this around, blah, blah, blah. Make sure that you don't, make sure before you start having sex, you talk and you figure it out because you don't want to make a baby with this disease and blah, blah, blah. And that's the best way of thinking, I feel. But here's the thing. The heart wants what the heart wants. So, do you just say fuck the heart because you have sickle cell, or I don't. One thing I would say, you can date and be with somebody without procreating. I do not think that people with sickle cell should make babies with each other because that's not fair to the child. You know what you go through. Why would you want to pass that on to someone else? That's not, that may sound judgmental. I'm not trying to be, I promise I'm not. Like, I really don't want to pass judgment on anyone, but because that's not my place. But I just think when it comes to bringing a child into this world willingly, knowing that you are damning this child to suffer the same stuff that you suffer, is the biggest and most selfish thing that you could ever do in your life. You know, because let's call it what it is. That's like, we'll fuss at somebody for smoking crack while pregnant or doing heroin or doing this and doing that. But you'll willingly get pregnant with someone that shares the same disease as you, the disease that's killing you, knowing that you're going to pass this disease on to this child. How is that any different than bringing a crack baby into this world? Because crack babies that are born addicted to drugs have to fight their whole lives because their bodies are messed up. So what's the difference? I mean, can you tell me the difference? No one can tell me the difference. You will sit here and you can say, oh, that's stupid. That's a dumb point of view, blah, blah, blah. What's the difference? If you could answer that, just put in the messages and tell me the difference. We could debate about it. I mean, it don't have to be a debate. You make it sound, you give me a good reason to change my point of view, and I'll listen, and I'll change it. But you can't make this sound okay. Yes, there's a chance the child might come out without catching the disease. But that chance is about that big. That big. That's a chance you're willing to take for, I can't even say love, for selfish reasons, because you fell in love with somebody with sickle cell and now you want a baby with that person, so you want to pass on your disease to your child because you fell in love knowing that person has sickle cell, knowing the consequences. Now, if you didn't know that person has sickle cell, it's a different story. But if you know these things, why would you do that? I know that if I was single and I met a girl with sickle cell, I wouldn't have a problem dating her. Hell no. Shit, some of them just as fine as everybody else. Ain't nothing wrong with people with sickle cell. You know what I mean? I'm sexy as a motherfucker. But I would not have a problem dating, but I would never have a kid with somebody with sickle cell. Because I know what I go through, and I'd be damned if I'm gonna watch my child suffer. I couldn't imagine, like, there's so many parents that lost kids at such a young age to sickle cell, and I could not imagine that being me. No, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. That would really, like, I would lose all will to live. I would just, only reason I continue fighting as much as I fight now is because of my kids. If I had kids with sickle cell and I had to watch them fight the same fight, and then if something happened to one of them, shit, man, I would jump off a bridge that night. Fuck this life. I would go. Go. I mean, for me though, like my kids are the most important thing in life. There's nothing more important than that. So I can never curse them with that disease. I can never just get with somebody.
Break your legs. Break your legs.
He's a weirdo. He's a weirdo. Look, they coming out here like the Walking Dead. They just all popping up at the same time. Both of them. Where the hell that come from? But back to what I was saying. I could never, you see, I could never curse that with this disease. Like, I mean, they have the trait, but that's not my fault. I mean, any child I have is gonna have the trait, so it just is what it is. But I couldn't willingly pass on this disease to my children. It wouldn't be something I would do. You know? So that's my thoughts on that. Like it, love it, hate it, whatever. Okay, and that's about it. I don't know. I think I'm finished for right now because my kids are starting to pop up like roaches. So, my name is Nathaniel Seaberry.
My name is Malia Seaberry.
I have sickle cell. Y'all have a good night. Love you.
Watch more